Pinheiro has us underway. Devin Tompkins into the end zone. Down to a knee. Remember the third year of this new kickoff rule. If it flies into the end zone, it's out to the 35, which is where Kirk Cousins will take over. Kirk, he was 5 of 6 in the opener, got one drive, led him down the field. And talking to him yesterday, Kirk Cousins told us so much about how he feels heading into the season.
I think I got smarter in that meeting. You talk about the quarterback position, I always lean on Rich Gannon, but I got so many nuggets and tidbits from talking to Kirk Cousins now going into his 15th year. He's played a lot of football, almost 6,000 throws in his career.
The Niners defensively, couple of starters on the field, but we expect to play most of their backups. It is Mike Washington pounding over a defender, carrying the opening handoff right through the middle for
at the cornerback spot. I love the way that Mike Washington finishes, right? Watch how he finishes. He keeps those pads square, and boom, sometimes you got to BYOB, be your own blocker.
I'm liking how that offensive line's finishing too, taking some guys to the ground.
Well, part of that offensive line in front of Washington, Jackson Powers Johnson. He is in there at right guard. Remember, he was dinged up before the Texans practice week, did not play. Washington again. Look at the block for the fullback Hayward to get him the first down. Well, this is an indication of the last couple of weeks what we will see this year. They've been in a lot of I formations with Connor Hayward here in the preseason.
The fullback position is alive, Rich. You play with a fullback.
I love it. John Ritchie in the house tonight as well with the alumni weekend. But, you know, look, we know Mike Washington can run the ball, but can he handle the passing game? And I think that's what we want to see a little bit tonight, you know, in terms of protection, in terms of responsibilities, and his ability to get out of the backfield and make some catches.
That is Brock Bowers at the top of your screen. He is split out wide. It is Bowers, and it is broken up. That is the aforementioned Jack Jones. And we saw it here over the course of a season and a half in Las Vegas. The ability to jump the route with pick sixes and the ability also to get beat for 50-yard passes.
Yeah, I just feel like that was a carbon copy of what we saw against the the LA Chargers a couple years ago, where he picked one off jumping right in front of it. That's a guy you don't want to throw a quick slant to that side. He's all over it.
8 career interceptions for Jones. He's got 4 touchdowns in what is now his 5th season out of ASU. Cousins back to the air. Good protection. Back to Bowers. And he is wrapped up. Tatum Bethune, 3rd year out of Florida State, one of the backup linebackers. It'll be 3rd down.
Really enjoyed our visit with Kirk Cousins yesterday and him talking about the tight end position. He feels really comfortable with that group. And, you know, even his comfort level with Trey Tucker and Jalen Naylor. And I think he's trying to develop that rapport with some of those other young receivers. And I think every rep that he can get with some of those young, trust how those guys are going to respond week 1.
Well, and for Brock Bowers, you know, you just assume that is target number 1, and then from there you figure it out. Cousins came off the initial hit. He found Jalen Naylor. It's a 1st down. Between Bethune and the corner, Jacob Robinson, they move the chains.
That's a nice job on the protection. Remember, Mike Washington, his first opportunity in this protection. Watch number 30. He gets right there, the running back spot, scans back side. Nobody comes, gives a nice little pocket for Kirk Cousins to deliver, and a nice job by Jalen Naylor. You were just talking about him, Rich, and number 9 getting involved early on.
Kirk, I could throw from that pocket. That's a clean pocket. That's a good-looking job by the group up front.
Back in that old school I formation, toss play. Got 2 blockers out in front for Washington, and he gets into the secondary, brought down by Stroman. There is a flag down right around the line where Washington was taken down after an 8-yard run. Well, this line is absolutely pushing the Niners backwards every time they go to run the football, but we'll see what the flag is.
I love the fact that Clint Kubiak believes in having a fullback involved in the game plan. And it's going to be important for the Raiders this year.
Holding. Offense number 18. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Now, we talked a lot about Jalen Naylor. This is on Jack Besh, who's in the slot.
Yeah, we don't usually replay penalties, but I just want to watch the fullback and watch the tackle get out. This is good looking. And I think we're going to see more and more of this. They have to be able to lean on the running game this season. They were 32nd in each of the last 2 years. They need to be a top 10 rushing team, and there's no reason why.
Rich, almost 15 yards fewer than the 31st place team. There's Trey Tucker. And he picks up all of that penalty yardage and more. It'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up Trey Tucker, Kirk Cousins couldn't say enough great things about Tucker. He said, you know, in my 14 years in the NFL, had a lot of speed guys. Most of them want to do one thing. Trey Tucker's a different story.
What did he say? He said you have to try and overthrow him. Now think about that for just a second. You know, that's almost impossible. He's got what I would refer to as rare and unusual speed at the wide receiver position.
And he lines up all over the place. Played slot receiver in college at Cincinnati. He's in the backfield off that motion. And they throw it to Tucker. He's got one man to beat. Gets the sideline, first down. He left the rookie Jaden Duggar in his dust. Picked up 8 yards.
Well, let's take a look at the keys for success offensively this season for the Raiders. I thought about this in my hotel room today, guys. How about some continuity and improved play up front of the offensive line? That is the key. And then growth with Kirk Cousins.
And that man, we just saw Rick Dennison, the offensive line coach, experienced Super Bowl, been in the NFL for more than 3 decades. There've been, you know, we've had a chance to talk to a variety of the offensive linemen over the last 3-4 weeks. They have credited with his energy that he still brings all this time in the league.
30 years of NFL coaching experience. He was brought in to restore order along that offensive line. And if he works his magic like he normally does, this might be one of the most improved units in all of football.
And that unit right there, Miller, Burford, Linderbaum, and Glaze at right tackle. They've been working with the ones the entire camp. Been a battle at right guard. Jackson Powers Johnson and Caleb Rogers. Tonight's JPJ in his 3rd year out of Oregon. He gets the nod. 2nd down and 6 on a lengthy opening drive. Washington spun his way right into a tackle. Jalen Graham, 4th year out of Purdue, was the one who spun him backwards, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Jason. Look, that's just 10 plays on this drive, and a lot of it is about Rico Dennison right there. We call him Rico around here, but look, you see the offensive lines that he's been a part of. And there's a reason why Clint Kubiak said, you know what, you're appointed to the group that needed the biggest jump, I think, in improvement from 2025
that's just since 2019. You go back to his days with Mike Shanahan in Denver. He's been around some good ones.
Now, 11th play of the drive. Kirk Cousins in his only drive in the preseason, game 1. 10-play drive. They scored a touchdown. This is already 5.5 minutes. Dylan Laube trying to push the pile. He's not going to get the first down. They ran it on 3rd down and 4. Pushed backwards. Are you going for this here?
Well, they ran it on 3rd and 4, knowing they were going to go for it on 4th down. And that's what you have with a really good play caller. And of course, they kicked the field goal. You know, you run it in that situation because if you get 4th and a yard, you go for it. But they've got a long 2 or 3.
Yep.
It wasn't very good.
Well, remember, there is position battles everywhere. Matt Gay has been in a battle throughout the camp with Kansei Matsuzawa, although it seems that Gay has performed in games certainly top-notch. Made from 52 last week. The veteran this time from 37 out of the hole of A.J. Cole. And Kirk Cousins leads the Raiders on a scoring drive to open up.